Okay, bring your hand up a little bit, Lauren. No, what I said, what I want you to do is have this hand just about here. So this is kind of parallel to the ground. If it starts to go down, that's not that there's anything really wrong with that, but it'll eventually start to affect your shoulder. As it goes down, your shoulder is going to drop. And keep that posture as good as you can. Now you're looking for a disengaging of the hindquarters. Okay, now from this position, keep doing what you're doing. And when you feel softness in the bridle, sit down slowly into your left hip. Now, when you start to find him, just barely bring this leg to here, and don't go any further than that. No, just barely. There you go. Now just stay in that position until he moves only the back feet. Drop this left hip just a little bit. There. That's when this leg comes off, and this rein has got to disappear like you got burned by a fire. Okay, pick it up slowly again. Cover the space with your hand. Okay, slowly find him. That's enough. Drop your hip. Just keep waiting. Release. Everything. Atta girl. Good. Pick it up slowly. Bend your elbow. When he gets soft in the bridle, when he gets soft in your hand, take in a little bit of the slack, and then drop right about there. Now drop your hip. Don't let him out. Once he gives you the slack and you take it up, just sit stationary on it. Drop your hip. After he's soft in the bridle, stay with him. Let me kind of function him a little bit to see if we can get the rhythm of it. Every time he tries to take that away, you just want to be stationary. So you want him to learn that moving the feet is what releases the bridle right there. This is really good for this horse. Good boy. Good boy. As he goes through all the things that you see him going through, this is where he's going to learn that the movement of the feet is what gets rid of the bridle. And your leg, of course. Good boy. 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 Okay, now, see what you can do. You're going to find the horse. Sit up straight. Bring the horse to you. Wait for the softness in the bridle, and then the contact. There's your step. Release. Girl. Pick it up again. No, don't bring your hand up. Bring it right there. Don't bring it out here. Release. Pick it up again. Right there. Now, once you've made contact with your leg, drop your hip. Don't press with the leg, just... There, right. Good, excellent, perfect. Okay, now it took the time that it took to start to get some awareness of him, you know, when I was doing this here on the ground with you, is what you want to realize that you're going to build into, you know, so as you do the things you're doing, your contact is going to feel like that. So as you start to find the horse, as you bend your knee, the bending of your knee takes your leg to the horse. If you find yourself doing this, you're going to feel it in your hip. So the bending of the knee takes that hip out of it, and so this is where you find the horse, and that's your cue. Okay? See how you do. Now, when you're working to get him to come to a stop, I know, but when you're working with it, you have the freedom to help him. So if you have your hand here like you did,
yeah,
you can move it up here anytime you need to help him.
okay.
Okay.
But
if he starts,
when I do, then I end up going forward. You know.
Well, it's only for a moment, though.
Okay.
Okay. So what you're trying to do is be sensitive enough to the feel that you're giving him, that this doesn't happen when you're trying to stop him.
Right. So, and I was just wondering, I get nervous about this other one hanging down, which is why I hold it a lot. I'm afraid he's going to catch his foot in it. Is he?
He would have to raise his foot pretty high.
Okay. Because when you say drop it, okay, and then I'm like, where is it? You know, that I'm just nervous about that. So.
Yeah, I think you can relax about that. I mean, unless he's striking at something. That girl. And be willing to, yeah, just. Now, see, as you continue to, when his head starts to come and you continue to pull, his head will keep coming.
Yeah, but what do I do when he
You release him. Just you're trying to find that spot.
Right.
There you go. So if he starts to bring his head around, you don't continue to take it.
Right.
You know, by taking.
No, that makes sense.
I'll get softer. So now try it. See, as soon as the head starts to come back, that's when you can. There you go. Just keep working at it. You want to set this up so he has to make a decision. Okay. So when this is happening, so you put your legs on the horse, nothing happens. Immediately he comes this way,
Yeah.
and you take him until he moves this way, and then release. Then you pick up that side. His head comes this way, and you release, and then this side. So there's got to be something that tells him he's got to move. Both legs. Right, girl, now follow me.
Okay.
You're staring at his head.
Okay.
If you're looking where your destination is, you're more apt to get some kind of motivation generally in that direction. But what happens to the person when they look at the horse is your body does this. That girl, keep looking, that girl. Good. Now this side. Okay, now I want you to stare at me all the time and function with your horse. Okay, now what motivates, what do you think, because there's a little bit of a history developing here, what do you think motivates your horse to go forward? Ideally, it's just a squeezing of your legs.
Well, yeah.
But because there's a history of communication breakdowns,
Yeah.
what do you think would motivate your horse?
Well, your core. Didn't you say your core?
Your core is part of it.
Your legs.
Your legs, okay?
Your reins.
Okay, that combination of things, in other words, talking about, okay, if something's going on, I've got to get down there.
Right.
What are you going to do? This is what I want you to just, take the
You
authority.
mean not pretty?
Well, it can look pretty, and you can still get it done. You want me to show you what it looks like?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and hop off of it.
Get off.
Okay, now in this lesson, if I need to add a stimulus to the horse, in other words, an aid, the aid is related to the rider's legs. This is something that's done to improve the understanding. It's not something that becomes the habit of the rider. In other words, you don't do this every time you want the horse to go forward. But if I bring my legs to the horse, I raise this up and I put it down. But what I'm telling the horse, when I bring my legs to him, my hand comes up. If he doesn't move, then that thing is going to touch him on the withers. Okay, but I'm not touching him on the shoulder where I'm lunging at him. I'm just offering the completion of this decision. So if, let's say that I'm asking him to go forward and he's backing up, I would immediately do this, take him right into steep flexion, move that hind quarter over, put my outside leg on him, along with the inside, and move out. Because every time that you do something with your horse and they step in a deliberate fashion, they are going forward. They're relaxed and they just flow.
Okay.
Okay, this is what I want you to kind of get that feel of setting the horse up so when that flows, he flows. Looked good to me.
Huh?
It looked good to me.
Okay. Yeah.